If you experienced it yesterday, it's no surprise it's on the front pages this morning. This Nigeria has powerless grid collapses again, 12 times in 12 months. Fixed power sector to drive industrial growth. AFDB advises Nigeria will add 150 megawatts to power grid by year-end, says Minister Adelabu. The details on the inside pages. Daily Independent follows suit, will add 150 megawatts of electricity to grid before year-end, according to FG. National grid collapses 12th time in 2024. The front page of Daily Times has Nigeria's power minister updates on Siemens project, renewable energy ties with Germany. The details of that story you'll find on the inside pages of the paper this morning. Also in the news, tax reform bills. Nigerian Tribune, framework to check abuse of VAT spending in place. Stories on page 3 lists education, health, security, unemployment among priorities. Also on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct, tax reforms, why Supreme Court must not rule in favor of states. Koyedele says decentralizing VAT collection will have revenue for all states. Nigeria on threshold of fundamental economic reform through tax bills. That's coming from the minister. Find the details on page 7 of the paper this morning. Vanguard newspaper has this one. Varsity education in tatters. Lecturers can't fuel cars, sleep in offices to cut costs. Ride bicycles in office, abandon higher degree programs. We're dying. Pay us living wages. ASU Konwa. Make lecturers happy, as according to parents. Their welfare are concerned, according to FG. We bear the brunt. That's coming from the students. The details on page 14. Daily Trust. Reps probe customs over smuggling brutality at borders. The details on the inside pages. The Guardian newspaper. Ahead of 2027, future of opposition uncertain as politicians begin realignment. Story is on page 6 of the paper this morning. If you look at the front page of New Telegraph, Allied's went to that national security strategy of 2019, which focused, or supposedly focused, on a more people-centric as opposed to state-centric security. What is playing out right now? Is this state-centric or citizen-centric? I guess the questions are there. But on the front page of The Guardian this morning is something that we have been talking about for a while, talking about security, but more of food security. It's on the front page of The Guardian, somewhere at the bottom of the page, when it talks about experts worry over 40% post-harvest losses. The Guardian newspaper has a picture of the Minister of Agriculture right there. At the bottom of the page, it's highlighted in blue. And the natural question that came up, we've been talking about this for a long time. And now for some experts, they would also say that there is a likelihood that the numbers actually is way beyond, it's more than 40%. For some would claim 50%, some would claim 60%, depending on the crop that we are talking about, or depending on the farm produce that we are talking about. Now, this is in relation to what they call the National Agricultural Extension Service Bill, which expectedly would help farmers to get more information about how to prevent or reduce post-harvest losses, inclusion of technology and all those things. This is all talk. We spoke with the Minister of State for Agriculture earlier in the week, and we heard some lofty ideas. What Nigerians, I believe, would like to see is something that Chamberlain said earlier. The market should align with our pockets. Yes, forget the fact that they all both ended with cats. The market should align with the people's pockets in a way that they're happy to go to the market, purchase some things, and be happy that they got value for money, and not just because things are expensive. You buy something in Kano that we talked about earlier, it's X amount of money. But by the time it gets to Abuja, gets to Lagos, gets to Port Harcourt, it's like 300% higher in price. Why? What is the reason? All these are, that's beside the fact that there is post losses. So there is the cost of your logistics of moving these things, and then there is the cost of the post-harvest losses that the farmers will naturally put on the products. The entire value chain of our agricultural support services need to be checked in order to ensure that we are not just food sufficient, but we are actually food sustainable. I don't know if that's part of what we'll be talking about on Business Morning on Sunrise Daily this morning. It's also, of course, talking about food security, availability, or affordability. That's going to be on Business Morning on Sunrise Daily at 10 o'clock this morning. And Eni John McQuarrie, my colleague, is going to be taking you through that. In the meantime, let's take a short break. When we return, it's time to get down to business.